Now, before we start this video, we're going to be taking 3 steps. 1, like. 2, subscribe. 3, please share the video. Now, this week we're going to be looking at the journey so far and taking into perspective the 3 game weeks that we've had. And we're looking at journey so far because like I said, we've taken 3 weeks. We're going to be looking at 3 game weeks, and this is the international window. International window is a period in which teams use to reset their teams, their strategy, look at what went wrong, look at what is going on well, and look at how they could do better. Now, before I go into the perspective of what into the teams, I would like to congratulate FPL fans who backed Haaland. Many of us with Haaland at 515 million, many of us, myself inclusive, many of us, we dished Haaland, and he repaid us. He repaid us, and it wasn't funny. Although I had Salah to be for my team, but as the international window comes into play, many teams also, or many strategy. The strategy of FPL usually is to wild card within this period, and that's what I eventually did. So first we'll be going with Man City. We're looking at Man City. Now, there usually isn't much to say about Man City because one, the manager in question. Many of us look forward to the day Guardiola retires from that team or leaves that team, and it's usually the team to beat. They usually have little or no flaws, and Haaland is back to his best. But I believe that the loss of Alvarez would see them drop points. You can't go into a season with just one striker. I know Guardiola would look for a system that incorporates people into maybe a false 9 system, but a false 9 will not be as effective as a Haaland, a top 9. So or Alvarez, who was lost, I believe that he should have been replaced. Now we look at the contenders, rather the one who is likely to push the limit, and that will be referring to Arsenal. Now, I really believe that this is Arsenal's year to make a charge at the title. I strongly believe that they should have evolved, and their recruitment, having a Merino in their team, strengthens the midfield. But I believed so much that they needed a striker, and Havertz, a converted Havertz, I still don't see him bringing all the goals. And yes, oh my God, I can't really believe that my team, Chelsea, will be paying Arsenal to have Sterling in their team. I just want to keep that aside. Now, I believe that Arsenal should have recruited a striker. Having a crooked Jesus might not be an effective backup for Havertz, who himself is not a striker. Now we move over to Liverpool. Now Liverpool, I said it before the season started that manager bounce is one of the things that will give them a reset, a recharge, and it seems to be playing well for them. But I expected them to have made 1 or 2 recruitments, especially with the striker. But the strategy of the manager has taken over from where Klopp stopped, and it seems to be making his mark much more effective. But that has a way of getting the players weary. And into the season, I see them fading out in that challenge for the title. Except the January window would offer them an opportunity to recruit. And January window usually doesn't give a team that is not challenging an edge to upstage the favorite. So I don't see Liverpool challenging for the title. I see them coming in the Champions League places but not challenging for the title. Now we have Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa was one of the clubs in which I was very proud of. I was impressed with their recruitment, especially for the fact that Aston Villa is a small club when compared to these big guys, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, set aside Newcastle, Man City, and all these big boys. The recruitment was, spot on to an extent, and they were able to get a midfielder in the caliber of Onana. You can see, his effect in the team. The wingers, I think they were able to recruit a couple of wingers. They disposed of a winger, but another winger in that beefed up. I believe beefed up their status in respect to the league. And we move over to Tottenham. Now, Tottenham filled the right positions, or rather the most pressing aspect of their team, which is the striker position. Although the striker they recruited, which was Solanke got injured on the first match, but it fits their philosophy of their attacking philosophy, and it's going to be a real boost for them going into the season. Next, we have Manchester United. Now, this goes out to a Man United friend of mine, Mr. Vincent. Manchester United is not as bad as many people see Manchester United to be. They had their failings and they are recovering. They've been able to sort out their boardroom issues, which has given them a foundation. And I just want you guys to give Ten Hag the benefit of a doubt. Now, the reason why you all need to back Ten Hag is because over time, Ten Hag has recruited players that suited his philosophy. He's recruited players he trusts, and these were big money signings. And if you have to replace Ten Hag at this moment, tendency is that the new manager would want players to fit in his system. And unlike Chelsea recruited players the club wanted. They had a plan. They had a target, the kind of play and the system they wanted. They recruited the players they in the club wanted, not players Pochettino wanted. And that cost Pochettino his job, because a player like Ugarte was wanted by Pochettino and he could have fitted Pochettino's style of play. But we had Caicedo in place of Ugarte. And Ugarte has been recruited by Manchester United. Ugarte is the terrier kind of player, a player that runs around like Kante, N'Golo Kante. Ugarte coming into the team will take time to blend in. Well, the international break affords him the opportunity to blend in, and he should start receiving fruit. That position Ugarte is supposed to, that's the number 6 role, the position that's the base of the midfield. The position he is to occupy is the fulcrum of a team. Once you get that signing wrong, or you have a wrong player in that system at that position, your team falls. Look at big teams that are currently doing good now. You have Arsenal recruited Merino to take over from Rice. In Man City, you have what's the Spanish player? That's the Spanish player, the number 6 playing for Man City. His name escaped my head for now. You have him playing in that role, and in Tottenham, they don't play that kind of system, but they have good midfielders. In different clubs, you have that particular role being played by someone that's effective enough to. In Chelsea, you have Caicedo. Now, Ugarte has been recruited, and the first match, you could see the fact that the defense was much more better than the previous seasons. It's not yet Uru for Manchester United, and Manchester United is still far from being what you people expect. But I'm saying give Ten Hag this season at least, and then you can start planning for next season if he doesn't do better. Also, like Ten Hag said, he has been the best manager and the best team in the Premiership over 2 years. That's right, statistics back him. What kind of statistics? Trophy. They're bought to win, to get trophies. Yes, Arsenal has improved. Arsenal has been challenging Man City for the title, but Manchester United Ten Hag has more trophies, has the trophies count for him. Yeah, we move to my club, Chelsea. Now, let me start by saying I am so ashamed of Chelsea, my club Chelsea, and their business dealings this summer, especially as it concerns the striker pursuit. Now, I love the way Chelsea went about the rest of their transfer. They needed to offload players. They did so very nice. They brought in some players. Chelsea keeps building for the future. They brought in some players who are going to prove effective for Chelsea. But their pursuit of a striker was, I'll use the word that was used on Sky Sports, gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked. And the pursuit of Osimhen was not up to scratch. It has been, people have talked about it. I know Chelsea and the system they're trying to go, or they are moving towards at this point in time, is to reduce their wage structure, have an implementation plan in which new players who are coming into the club have a base salary and progress over time. But come of it, you are recruiting a striker in the mode of Osimhen. We all believe. I looked forward to Osimhen being in my FPL team. That's how much I valued, or how much Osimhen was being valued. And the deal was bungled. That was, for all intents and purposes, was very poor of Chelsea. And not recruiting a striker, I don't know about Jackson. Yes, he has not set the Premier League alight, but he's popping up with some goals, and the manager and the system seems to have everybody bring out their best. So we'll see how Jackson fares. But I still believe that Osimhen would have taken Chelsea. I mean, I looked forward to Osimhen. I was looking forward to placing Chelsea above where I placed them for this season in terms of the end of the season. Well, Chelsea, the new manager was recruited, like I said, and he's doing well. His system seems to be paying off. And well, we'll go to honorable mentions. I would want to mention Brighton. I don't know how they do it. Perhaps Chelsea, in trying to recruit their staff, probably we could just recruit the whole club. Because the club, when you're thinking of the fact that poaching their staff, poaching their players seems to bring them down. They just find a way, even their manager, they just find a way of evolving. They've been marvelous, and they've played Man U, they've played Arsenal, and they came out with was it 7 points? Yeah, 7 points. Beat Man U, drew with Arsenal, and won their first match. That was impressive. And they did this with a 30-something-year-old manager, the youngest manager, I think, second youngest manager ever in the Premiership, or so. That's a permanent manager. That was quite impressive. I would also mention Ipswich. Now, Ipswich, some of us who followed the championship, we saw what Ipswich did. We saw what their manager did. The manager was so impressive to the extent that Chelsea was after him, Man U was after him, the English FA were after him, a couple of clubs were after him, but he chose to remain in Ipswich, which was the best for him as a manager. He needs to prove himself as someone just like Kompany did. He needs to prove himself a little bit in the bigger stage, and their recruitment was fun. I won't use the word fun. Well, fantastic for a small club like Ipswich. They were able to bring in loan signings which would mature into a permanent signing if they are retained, and that was perfect. That was very good for a club like Ipswich. And I see them replacing Everton in the relegation battle. Well, not battle, even relegation places. I see them replacing an embattled Everton. Now, for my placement of clubs, I said I was going to make another prediction on clubs and how they finish. The top 7. Well, number 1, I give it to Man City, perennial champions. Number 2, I give it to Arsenal, still retaining number 2 in my list. Number 3, still retaining number 3 in my list is Liverpool. They've been impressive, and Slot hasn't disappeared. He slotted in perfectly into the Premiership, the Rhimes. So, number 4, Chelsea. I did have placed Chelsea higher than 4 if Osimhen had made his way into Chelsea. Number 4, Chelsea. Number 5, I will be replacing Man U with Tottenham. Tottenham did well. I looked forward to to bringing Tottenham upwards if they had recruited fine, and they did. Number 6, Aston Villa. They retained their number 6 position in my list. And, there was a swap, Tottenham for Man U. So Tottenham and Man U comes in at number 7. Now, at the middle of the season, I will be giving another prediction of the top 7. Will Man U retain number 7? That is for Man U to say. So, like I said, please click like, share the video, and do subscribe. Thank you.